All right, it says we're live. Welcome back to Kaler's Aquatics. This is Bob, and I'm just going to do a couple of quick updates so you don't know that means probably an hour or less. Seriously, though, I have someone on the way over with some coral that they don't want, and they'd given me some before. And hey, Daryl, I really like it. So, yeah, I said, yeah, but just wanted to do a quick update on the red leg. Um, Crab. Didn't call it a snail, but I tried. Um, the backstory is it was in that small shell when I got it. Someone brought it back for whatever reason. They didn't want it. Actually, there were two of them, but either the squirrel or the queen angel down there murdered the small one. Hey, Sherry. The big one survived. Got some shells at Wick's Water World. In Crossville, Tennessee, a store I'd never been to, and it moved into that large shell, which has a big, big opening, and it really looked like it had an oversized overcoat on. It was a little hard for it to keep on there. And then I went ahead and put in the second shell I had got, which has a smaller, you can see just by the girth of, or the width of it, that it's a much better fit for that guy. So the first night I put it in there, I didn't notice all the next day, very observant, that it had moved in there. So it stayed in there. I saw it last night. I thought it was going to come out of the shell and try to go back into one of these, but it didn't. It just kind of measured them and all that. But it's out this morning. It usually only comes out at night. So it's out and it's moving about. So I thought it would be something cool to show. The last time I talked about it and showed it, it was on the other side where I let the algae get really thick, a lot worse than this. Um, and it does react. Like if I tried to clean the glass there, it would react. It would probably go inside the shell and stay for a bit. It's becoming a lot more accustomed to the tank and to the room, but I think it spied me and it's going to move itself away, or has moved itself away. But they're great for all kinds of cleanup, and it incredibly, those shells are not real heavy. Hey, Sean. I got your message to Ginger, and that was at 3 a.m. My time, 2 a.m. her time, and she was up, so we both made an order. Hey, Underwater. Hey, Veteran Aquatics. Great to see you here. Veteran Aquatics, I don't think I've mentioned him before. He has an awesome, awesome channel that's growing quickly, and he has great content. And we haven't seen him around in our fish fam and streams and stuff a lot yet, but we hope to more. So check him out, guys. That's another good channel that you would benefit from. Hey, Pam. Good morning. It's actually afternoon here, I think, now. We're just talking about the trying to keep my reflection. I'm in the obligatory boxer shorts and torn t-shirt still. I haven't come out of that mode yet. I'm on second cup of coffee. Hey, Alice. So trying not to do reflections today. There's the angel, which really doesn't seem to notice the crab much anymore. Nope, not naked, Pam. Pam likes to act out her fantasies sometimes in the chat, but got my boxers on and my torn t-shirt. I'm good, Alice. I'm good. How are you? There's the fugu puffer. I've just been feeding these guys, so they're all jazzed up. But yeah, I really, really like that crab. I think it's just you, Carrie. So far, I've not seen anything here, or no one else has said anything that I've noticed. Hey, Aquaballs. You had a nice shout out a little bit ago from Ben Ochart. That was nice. I might have scared him there. These are like the probably related in some way, but these are, when you think of redlegs, we think of the little crabs that are less than the size of a marble. This is not one of those. It's a different species, and someone said it was, he was sleeping. He was talking to you on there. Said something nice about you. I don't remember what. I was lurking. I was feeding, so. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? Look at that. Imagine it's pretty much what the little crabs look like. Hey, Tiffany, how are you? Oh, there's my thumbnail, huh? As he goes around, of course, hey, my peeps, I've been seeing people speak to you, and I'm always torn between, are they saying hi, my peeps, as to the people, or to you? So that's a cool name, for sure. Hey, Candy, we're looking at the, not my red legs. Pam's been after them, but the red leg marine crab. It's in the third shell, or rather the second shell, the third shell for it. And I think it's going to stick with this one. It's not quite as big and doesn't have as big an opening. And he's out and about. He's usually in the shell or under a rock at this time of day, but I am feeding. So I need to do some research. Time her out. Sean's never going to let that go, Candy. But anyway, Sean, way back to, yeah, he doesn't have any problem moving it. And even, hang on guys, even the big one there, which is maybe 50% again, as big in the opening, and the shell's bigger too. He moved that one expertly, no problem, and took it all under these rocks. I don't know how he does it, but, and it looks like he's headed in there now. That in there and to the right, down in some cavern that you can see through there, there's a whole network of stuff under the rocks and then under the substrate. So yeah, I keep an eye on him every day, veteran, every day to make sure. And he had gone in that a couple of days ago, and but he kept turning around. I think he was just hanging out down there. But yeah, I keep an eye on him. I don't want him to get stuck. And of course, you know, he can slide himself. I forget sometimes, but a good time to remember, he can slide himself out of the shell. He's not attached to the shell, and that's how he moved. Yeah, he's smart enough, and I'm sure they have a way to measure and all that. I'm sure sometimes they probably get stuck, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I've seen pictures or a vid a long time ago, but I need to research him. I need to find out which species he is too. I wish I'd see one of the little red legs, because that's all I've ever put in my tanks, as opposed to the blue. I don't know, I just said red legs every time that I bought crabs. But there are some little red legs in here, but they're tiny compared to this guy. They're adults, they're just a different species. Thank you, Candy. Oh, thanks for reminding me. I checked it last night. I haven't this morning, and it went on up to 2.7. You guys know I started out at 1.6 when I had reached the 1K subscribers. So it's at 2.7. So that means I need 1.3. So you guys are really whittling it down. Every day it moves. So awesome job. I was skeptical at first, but it's moving now. It never seemed to. I know, Sean. I sure appreciate it. Oh, veteran, I didn't know that. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. And again, check out Veteran's channel. He's not new, but he's kind of new to our fish fam. And thank you, Candy. I think I bored us enough with that snail. I want to call it a snail still. The other day I was saying how snails can come out of their shells and all that, and someone said snails do that. No, I'm going to have to get me a new wave maker or a different suction cup or figure something out. I'm finding this unattached. Yeah, I know. I've been watching you talk about that. So, well, that's true, Sean. I guess I do have a shell. I do have shell dwellers because I have all those other crabs and I have snails. Of course, they're hidden for the most part now. Another little thing that's important to me, of no importance to you guys, my new Talbots. That's my favorite damsel. You can put that in my chart. That's my favorite damsel there, the pink with yellow. Is that black and blue fish a damsel? That one? Or where's the black and, oh, I know what you're talking about, the neon. Yes. Yep. I don't know I don't know the scientific name for any of them, but yeah, I got a group of those. There's another one up there. And I don't know if that's the same one. That may be the same one, but that's the biggest one I have of them. And so I think they may morph into that. There's another one that's a little bigger. So I think there are like 5 or 6 in here. I usually get things in groups of 5 or 6. But yeah, those are my favorites there. Yeah, damsels are, a lot of people don't like them, and that's the same people that don't like African cichlids. And I don't keep African cichlids, nothing against them. I just don't want to deal with the set of problems, or I guess I should say care specifics. How's that? Care specifics that go with Africans. I don't want to constantly be moving and overcrowding. However, I do stock my tanks very well. But yeah, they're like little cichlids in a way. So, and I keep South Americans, so it's not a big deal for me. I just realized that was a great boxer shot there. The other thing I was going to talk about is that this tank is a little clearer today. And what I did yesterday, I was at a new little shop. That girl's having more trouble the last couple of days with her swim bladder. She can right herself, and she can still swim and she can move around. She's just had a big meal of bloodworms and spirulina brine shrimp. I hand feed her like I do several of my big fish, a couple of blind ones. These guys think they haven't had enough, and they probably haven't. And you guys know that these are just safe plastic plants from Hobby Lobby that I've thrown in here, not scaped, not anchored down, nothing. I just threw them in so that could break up the territories a little bit. Hey Reels, welcome. Hey Big J's. So I've got a lot of little cichlids that I'm going to grow out. There's the platinum parrots. Had several people asking me about them, and my local fish store people that operate primarily online now and out of their home hey Matt, brought me by some supplies yesterday, food and equipment and so forth, and on their phone they can actually, or no, they have a little thing that I can insert my card in and pay them. So veteran, this is the first parrots that I've ever had, and I have never been a parrot fan because true parrots are a stunning fish, and you probably are aware of that. They're gorgeous. You just don't see them in the hobby much, but that's one of the components of the. All right, there's some black poop. Happy, happy, happy. Nothing stringy, nothing mucusy. Awesome. Reboot the modem. We'll probably be here, Carrie. You know how that goes. But yeah, I haven't been a fan of those there, the three of them together. They're so cute. They kind of look after each other. They remind me of a group of kittens or puppies, how they stick together. And but see, their faces are not. They are beautiful. Some people really, really like them. I have mixed feelings about, but look at these guys' face. These guys are from King Kong. They're not new. They've been around since the mid-'80s, so they're not as old as me, but they've been around forever. They've just been recently imported to the U.S. just recently, so that's probably within the last year, and they're just now hitting places like Tennessee now, I don't know. But anywho, they are from King Kong parrots and from convict cichlids. And I can really see the convict in them when I watch them, as far as their playfulness and the way they move and that. But how you get this color from those two fish is beyond. I don't know genetics that well. Matt, someday I'm gonna get it aquascaped. Throwing the plants in is a step in that direction. I'll get them looking. Well, convicts are, those were my first fish that I ever had when I was a kid. And they're like, oh God, not the convict story again. But I got a pair of them and they had 1 million babies overnight. My mom made me take them all back. So, and then I got into guppies. But those are the only convicts I've ever had. And I think I said they were pink. Gosh, the people are asking me if I'm home to bring the corals by. I don't think I can pause this or do anything to this to answer their message. Anyway, the other thing I was going to show after all that time is that the tank has cleared. This is as clear as it's been since it got cloudy. And what I did yesterday, I picked up some tiger limias at the store that I can't remember the name of. It's a little further for me, so I forget to go out there. I picked up frozen food. He had things I like, and I like to keep my food stocked back, especially the frozen things. What else did I get? I got a new coral for those that like candy that keep salt water. It's a toadstool, and it's a blue something, and I've had several people say they'd never seen a blue one, and but he gave me, actually here's the little thing he mixed it in. He gave me some erythromycin. He had the big handy dandy, show you my hand, like quart-sized container with the powder and the scoop, and then the formula for how much goes per gallon. And so he mixed up half dose and told me to try that. So I put that in for several hours. I'll let it run maybe 6, maybe 8 hours, because after that, you know, there's the efficacy. There's another nice word. The efficacy of the medication is no longer, it's not effective anymore. And some people point out that it's even longer than that, the half-life is. But so I went ahead and did a big water change, like 55, 60% last night. and two at the same time. I thought about it maybe an hour into it. I'm running huge bags of almost said coral. There's a post there that I ran to, but I have the big zip up bags, mesh bags full of charcoal. There's one on top and one in the other 110. These are 110 titles that I love. So I have two 110s on a 180. Plus I have those two big sponge filters. So I've got plenty of filtration, but I think that erythromycin helped because it is clearer. And I'm going to go ahead and clean some, they don't need to be, but I'm going to go ahead and gently clean the bulk stuff off of the big intake sponges. Sorry. And then use this. This is actually, do I prefer bubble filters or the regular ones? Bubble filters. Are those the box filters or the sponge filters? Hey, Cowboy, welcome. While you're typing that, Matt, Purigen, and again, I know people that keep salt are very familiar with Purigen. It really clears water out, and so I'm trying that. I got two of these. You see it? Whoa. It does 150 gallons, and it should clear the water, 115 gallons. So I got two of them. Get me some while you're there, Sean. Small bills. So that's $30 right there just for that. You know, he didn't charge me for the medication, which I guess he should have, but he didn't. So that was very nice of him. And to mix it, he put it in some RO water. He said it wasn't very soluble, and it wasn't. It still hadn't all dissolved, so I had to dissolve it more here. But this is what's going on this evening, and I'm going to put them both on there, not one, and one goes in each filter. There's a bag there, and it just goes in your filter, and it's the new, more refined. It's also going to clear out the ammonia, the nitrites, and nitrates, which I don't have. I got to watch to make sure it doesn't do a cause an ammonia spike. So I just want to keep a close check on it. I don't know for sure how that. Yeah, they're going crazy because they hear me talking. And after that mailman thing the other day, Yazi's been on the lookout. And last night when Zach and JC came by from the store to bring my things, Yazi loves JC, the young lady. He loves the young, pretty blondes, and she fits right into that category. Matt, I'm looking for a clarification on your question. I ramble so much you probably didn't even hear me say, do you mean box filters or sponge filters, or what do you mean? The regular and the bubble filters. I use sponge filters in every tank. I don't have them attached to air in that saltwater, that marine tank or my other marine tanks, but I do have them on the intakes, the hang-on back intakes. There's Peter coming on, Mob Guppy. And is this